Hi everyone, my name is Matthew Archambault and this is the drawing tip of the week from drawingtutorialsonline.com. And I'm in the middle of doing this tutorial for members of the site, and basically this drawing came from step number 25 where I did a composition tutorial, and I asked the members, do you want me to push the drawing and make it more realistic? And they said yes. So we're in the middle of this. Now what is this? Let me cut to the chase here for you. What is this drawing tip all about? This drawing tip is about the most overlooked part of a portrait drawing, and to me that most overlooked part of a portrait drawing is the person's ear. You want to use the ear for a couple of different items and measuring items when you're drawing. But let me tell you, if you can get the ear placement correct, you're going to get the portrait correct. Now when I look at this girl here, Mrs. C we're going to call her, you know, the ear placement is wrong. First of all, the value of the ear is not right either. So the value of the ear needs to be put in its proper place. It's way too light. Let's look at the reference for a second. Now, when we look at the reference, look at how different the ear placement is on the reference here compared to my drawing. Okay, so when we look at her ear, and when you're drawing somebody's portrait, what you want to do first, let me just get a new layer here for this. What you want to do first is you want to look at the distance from the back of her ear to the back of her hair, or the back of her head, however you want to say it. And you want to compare that width or that length to the front of her ear, to the front of her nose. Which one is going to be longer? Okay, that is so very important, and that's important on a profile, and it's important on a 3/4 view. And most people don't pay attention to the ear because they're fixated on drawing the eyes and the nose and the lips. But focus on the ear. Now when we go back to my drawing, you can see that her ear needs to be pushed back towards the back of her head. Okay, that's going to be a big part of this portrait drawing. Now another thing that you guys totally want to take into consideration when you're drawing somebody's portrait is most of the time, not all the time, because everybody's head is different, but most of the time the bottom of the ear is going to align with the bottom of the nose, and the top of the ear is going to align with the eye. Now when you move her head up and down, let's say she's looking up towards the sky, well then her eye is going to be much higher than her top of her ear. And if she's looking down towards the ground, the bottom of her nose is going to be much lower than the bottom of her ear. Now this is just a rough calculation, but these two items, I'm telling you, will help you big time. It will prevent you from, you know, putting an ear that is just way too high up here, because she's looking straight ahead, and that's the clue. Which way, in which direction is your model looking? Up, straight ahead, or down? And if she's looking straight ahead and you place her ear here, it's not going to be right, because 9 out of 10 times the ear is very much going to line up with the eye and the bottom of the nose. Okay, I have seen models that come into class and they got little small ears and are a little bit lower, and yeah, it does happen, but for the majority of people, you know, that's how it's pretty much going to look. So what I need to do now is I need to go back. Let me just kind of get rid of some of this. I need to go back to my drawing, and I need to adjust the ear. So what I'm going to do very, very quickly here, I'm not going to finish this in this short drawing tip of the week, but I'm just going to show you how I would place it and see if we can't get the correct placement on it. So first thing I'm going to do is select the proper layer here, and let's make it visible. And let's get a brush, and I'm basically just using a soft round 9 pixel that we're going to make a little bit bigger. And my opacity is going to be placed at about a 23%. So we're going to push this ear back. Okay, and now let's just knock down the whole ear, actually, in terms of just knocking down the value. And let's go a little bit lighter, and let's just make some big broad strokes here. Not really digging this brush, but for the tip we're just going to kind of leave it and go for it. So do a quick little brush stroke like that. And we're going to up the opacity a little bit more, and let's come on down. I'm getting the angles of the ear, and we still have to go darker with the front. That's much better. Okay, so now what we can do is just push a little bit more. And you do that and you lean back and you say to yourself, okay, does that look any better? Lean back a lot from your drawings at this stage. The value is a little bit better. The placement is much better. So now what I just need to do is I need to kind of go on in there and just draw the darn thing. And that's a tutorial for another day. But what I'm going to do is just get some big, let's get the darkest value we can right now with the opacity of being 34. Just kind of map this out, making sure that the height is all lined up. And let's just get a couple of items with a couple. Give yourself these short little targets before you commit. Okay, that's the key to this, is just don't go on in there right away and try to render the heck out of it. Just give yourself some targets, and that is better. Okay, this still, in my opinion, needs to be kicked back, no doubt, needs to be kicked back. And I'll do that, and I'll play with, you know, how the glasses fit into it and all that. And basically, that's the tip of the week. You want to really pay attention to the ear placement when you guys are drawing somebody, because it will help you tremendously to get the likeness. Okay, now what is this drawing all about? I think I mentioned earlier in the tutorial that it's from step number 25. If we go back and we look at the original piece, or the piece where it's at right now, the piece was about composition. And so I asked the members, I'm like, do you want me to push the drawing a little bit more, try to make it more of a polished, realistic piece? And they're like, yeah, we want to see you do that. So that's what I'm up to right now. We went, let's take some of these, let's make this a little bit bigger one more time. Okay, a little bit bigger. Yeah, there you go, Matt. Way to screw up on the drawing tip. Beautiful. Okay, well, let's move this puppy over. So basically, yeah, this is where we're at right now. Let's close this layer. Look at how short her head is. It needs to be much wider. And you can see that we went from this to this just by looking at the ear placement, okay? And recognizing that. Now, we recognized it late in the game because we got caught up with the fixation of the profile with the eyes and the glasses, but hey, better late than never. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. That's where we started this today. And this was the end of the composition tutorial of symmetrical versus not symmetrical, and this was our not symmetrical composition. So yeah, I just wanted to share with you this quick tip. And we also are taking a survey over at DTO for the members, and the members overwhelmingly told me that they like traditional drawing tutorials better than the digital. And so it was 25% of the members want digital and 75% of the members want traditional. So I'm kind of in between a rock and a hard place. I love to do both. I'm going to try to make it 50-50, and I'm never going to give up the good old Color-Ace Prismacolor pencil. But I got to tell you, I'm having a ball doing this, and this is just really a lot of fun. And I really want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you soon. Leave a comment on the drawing. Let me know what you thought about it. And yeah, the most asked question that I ever get, and if I had any sense, I would kind of write it down on my channel page. I'm going to try to do that within the next couple of days. The Prismacolor Color-Ace pencil is my favorite pencil, and right now I'm just using plain Jane Photoshop CS5 with a Wacom Cintiq screen, which I can't say enough good things about. And yeah, that's it. I'll talk to you guys soon.